Oh, absolute nightmare there. So, theme tune.
What's the meeting?
Good evening, one and all. I don't know what's happening. What a disaster that is, eh? Nearly as bad as what was on the football pitch last night. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, good evening and warm welcome to another edition of North Kent Summit. Yeah, it's Monday night, and we're going to discuss all things Arsenal. We're going to discuss the 3-2 defeat yesterday at Manchester United. We're going to look ahead to the game against Crate in the Champions League on Wednesday. And we got a massive game ahead at Ellen Road on Saturday against Leeds United. So, first and foremost, good evening, Mr. Brooks. How are you?
I'm eating a sweet because I thought it was certain time. Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I mean, it is what it is. Very disappointing day yesterday. Everyone's got the amp. You've got to try and keep positive, but yeah, it's very disappointing. But we're still top of the league, so you've got to try and smile. But yeah, it was just crap. It was just a real doom and gloom performance, sadly.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It was not a good game, was it, whatsoever? But we will get into digest a lot of that in a meanwhile. Good evening to Ryan. How you doing, mate? After yesterday,
football side not so good. I'm still mentally trying to get over what we had to witness yesterday and at the end result. But football side, not too bad.
They're very sexy and green.
Yeah.
Nice start. Yeah. He didn't have it on. He didn't have it on then. He didn't have it on just now. I don't know if that's where it is.
Right. Boom.
That's Superman, love it.
And a very good evening to our new host. Welcome, Melvin. How are you?
Yeah, good. Fine, thanks. Looking forward to this. Raring to go.
Good to get you on board, mate. Good to get you on board. And just obviously to let everyone know who's in the chat already. Obviously, Andy has had a job offer, which is obviously he's taken. Which congratulations to him. But it will take up most of his Monday evening. So, yeah, he's obviously available still to jump on and do some kind of pods and all that kind of stuff. So he hasn't totally left, but obviously he can't commit to every week. So yeah, thank you very much, Andy, for absolutely everything you've done, mate. Over the last year and a half, it's been good sharing some pods with you. Don't know if you want to say anything, John, as obviously co-host as well.
So unprofessional. I've got to keep up his physique. Yeah, no, it's a shame, but you know he's a very good-looking man, and OnlyFans is very pleased to have him, isn't they? So good luck to him, and yeah, we'll see him soon. He will be missed.
Absolutely. I'm just going to say some good evenings into the chat already. Good evening to Austin, who's in the chat. Good to see you on, mate. Good evening to Mr. Andrew Mayer, always on. So good evening to you. Some people might trigger this. Nothing's clicking on tonight. I might need you to do that, right? I don't know what's going on.
We'll go back to where you're at. So you got Andrew, you've got Austin talking about the legends on the screen. G as well.
G's been on, yeah. Go on, G. I see that flash up.
Evening, G.
Stay safe in Cornwall, G. You know the weather's going to be awful down there.
Yeah, it was an interesting weekend. Saturday was good for us. Sunday, for all of us, not so good. So it's a 50-50 weekend from her point of view, like myself. Darius.
Come on, Darius, here he is.
Yeah, he is. Good evening, Darius. He was out yesterday.
Come on.
How you doing, mate?
We've even got Ross got there in the chat as well.
Yeah, go on, Ross. He loves it.
Good evening, Ross. And even Maggie Thatcher's in the chat. Old Margaret. Good to see you, Margaret, on.
Yeah, Maggie Thatcher. Andy's in the chat as well.
Maggie Thatcher.
And then, this last we move on. I'm currently on FIFA Smash Man United 20 to get out my system.
You feel a little bit better there, Austin.
Good boy.
So, obviously, yesterday, 4:30 kickoff. Obviously, the big game of the weekend. The big rivalry between Arsenal and Manchester United. I'm going to go to you, Melvin, first on this. Obviously, a bit of surprise in the lineup yesterday, wasn't there? Gabriel Jesus starting. Did score 2 goals in midweek. Did you expect that selection ahead of the game for Jesus starting in front of Gyökeres?
I was a bit taken aback, really, because his best football, Jesus, has been in Europe. Premier League is a completely different game with him. He looks a world beater in Europe. I mean, in the league, I can't remember him really doing too much since he's come back. So I was a bit, not unhappy, but I thought, well, perhaps he might do it this time in the league. But you could tell from early on, he wasn't going to have one of those games. He's going to have a game there. He tries very hard, but the ball keeps bumping off his shin a few times, and he just can't quite get it together. So it's a bit of a shame, really. But he wasn't the only reason we got beat yesterday.
No.
I think it went through the whole team. It was at least we did it as a team, played poorly. I suppose that's good news.
Yeah.
No, it did kind of surprise me. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was a pretty big game to make that change. Like, if he had made it against, say, Sunderland at home, I probably would have understood it a little bit better. But Manchester United, and when you look at, obviously, they had Martinez at the back, you just, like, and you see when Gyökeres come on, like the size between them is like totally contrast. And yeah, I found it quite a shocking selection. If I'm being totally honest, I was really taken back that actually had started him. And I was just thinking that maybe he thought he could drag out Harry Maguire, but we started the first 30 minutes well, didn't we, John? Like, I actually thought we started quite well. Like, we had a lot of possession of the ball. It was only us in the game up until the goal. But once we scored the goal, immediately from their goal, their centre kick, it all went wrong. Like, they went clean through. And if I'm being honest with you, if the lad doesn't take a bad first touch, there's a good chance he goes one-on-one with Raya. And yeah, well, did complacency kick in?
I just don't know. I mean, like I said, the first 15, 20 minutes, we looked in control without really doing anything. Passing there to there to there to there to there to there, and if United ain't doing nothing, then we scored. Saka done well, lovely bit of control, whacked the ball in. Timber, I mean, I don't know why he was playing striker. Bless him, he forced an own goal, tremendous. And then it just went downhill from there. I don't know. We're forever pissing around at the back. I know Zubamendi, bless him, he's done this a few times now. I just kick up the pitch. I know it looks pretty. Just lump up the pitch. They weren't going to score in the first half. They weren't really threatening at all. And I just think if we got in 1-0 at half time, I think it could have been a different story. But I don't know what happened. It was just crap. I had to just describe it, because I can't use any stronger words yet. It's not 9 o'clock. But yeah, it was just awful. It was just lethargic and clumsy, and they just couldn't pass the ball to each other. And I was just like, what on earth is going on? And every single player needs to take some responsibility, because I know, as per usual, everyone has their scapegoats. But I thought the whole team were pathetic. Every single one of them, from Raya through to Saka, they were all rubbish and very disappointing. And yeah, it was just a huge disappointment, really. I don't want to go overboard, because obviously, we're still top, but it was just, it doesn't help that it's Man United either. We don't like Man United, let's be honest. It's annoying to see. I mean, it's annoying. We all wanted them to do well last weekend, and then they've done Man City a favour this weekend. It's a funny old game, but it was just hugely frustrating. Really, really, really disappointing.
And obviously, Ryan, you was watching it on the watch along. Firstly, how did that go? But also, like, this has been creeping. Like, for me, like, the performances at home have not been to a level all season. You take the Tottenham game out of it, and the second half against Aston Villa, where I still stand by what I say. And Arna going off injured at half time was a big factor in terms of their second half performance. Villa. I think this result has been coming at the Emirates.
It has, and the thing is, it's been more noticeable about it coming since the Wolves game. Even though they've picked up a bit of form performance-wise themselves at that point, and since then, they were the whipping boys in terms of the league at the time. Like, no matter how good they were in terms of under the manager bounce and all that, we still struggled. Well, they had to score for us to get the win in that game, like twice as well. That was so frustrating. The signs were there, and then it just because we've gotten out of jail up till yesterday at home every time in the league, especially. Even though the signs are there, it seems Arteta and his coaching staff don't want to address the issues that are glaringly obvious. And the main thing for me is, I said this yesterday at the end of the watch along in my rant of all rants, that since we lost that to the title 2 years ago by a point on the final day of the season, Arteta's gone away, come back, and we're playing this pragmatic, style of play where it's all I can say George Graham-esque. It's even more defensive in a George Graham era. For me, it's just everyone has to defend. Everyone has to defend. No attack. And look at the stats yesterday after the game, like the Sky put out. 1 goal from all the attackers we have. 1 goal in how many games? So and the thing is, all season Yorkos has been slammed by people in our own fan base, outside our fan base, the media. When you see that yesterday, it's not a Yorkos thing. It's not a Yorkos issue. It's an Arsenal. It's an Arteta philosophy issue where because he so wants to defend, and he was just relying on the set pieces, be it a free kick or a corner. It's taken away from the talent, and it's talent. We have got talented attackers here. They're not middle of the road attackers that he has to just cover with the set pieces and all that. We've got Sackers. We've got, as I say, we know what Victor's capable of. We've seen it, even though it's that championship, but we've seen it. Trossard, we know what he's capable of. Odegaard, since we've gone down this route, this playing style, it's no coincidence he's fallen off. But in that 6-month period, 2 years ago today, when we started that run of win, smash every team off the park, play this amazing football against any and everyone, Odegaard at his peak. And then since then, we're getting the complete opposite of Odegaard. I mean, yesterday, I screamed, get him off the pitch after we went 2-1 down because he got on the ball and he's falling off the ball. His confidence is devoid of anything really, not even just leadership, just in general. Like his creativity is non-existent because it's been restricted by, people call me overreactionary, but by the manager because he wants to control way too much still. This is how many years we've said this, 12 years ago during lockdown. He wants to control so much of the game still and these players, and it's frustrating because it's more frustrating this season because City are there for the taking in terms of walking away with this, doing what Liverpool did last year, and we're just he won't against the big teams. I can understand. You want to be a bit more reserved. You don't want to give too much away. You want to nick it one way or the other. But against the Wolves, Nottingham Forests of this world, you need to be, especially at home, open up, let the players attack. Why are we at home and playing like the away team? And like every team's a Bayern Munich, Barcelona, but in the Premier League. And the irony is, we've seen against Bayern Munich this season and the Atleticos, the teams in Europe, when they go to toe with us and open up, we have an open game, we blow these teams away. And that's in Europe. These are the best of the best. But for whatever reason, he reverts completely into, no, we must, no matter what, play as the away team, defend for our lives, nick a set piece. I mean, apparently yesterday he's complaining we didn't get 3 corners. I'm like, we're Arsenal. What? I keep going back to it. We have got amazing, and I emphasise the word amazing, attackers in our team. Use them to their advantage. If you let them go, don't focus on Eze not defending. Let him be free. Let him open up and go at attackers, go at defence. Let Odegaard do what he used to do. Let Saka, because once they let them two go, Saka then comes into play. Your Perez, it's not hard to understand, to figure it out. And I'm getting more and more frustrated because, like you guys, I want this league top more than anyone because it's 22 years. 22 years we've had to wait for this. Off. But I'm so frustrated because we should be miles ahead by now. Let's be honest, in the last few weeks, we've had opportunities. If we took an opportunity, we'll be 11 points clear as we speak. We wouldn't be sitting there complaining. We'd be going, okay, another game, let's go.
Look, it's clear for everyone to see. Like, we're sitting here saying it. Everyone in the chat is saying it. When you start looking at this comment, we've scored 1 scrappy goal in 270 minutes. If you discount the own goal, that's damning.
Disgraceful.
And it is damning.
Pete, how much money we spent on that attacking? Like hundreds of millions of pounds. We can't score
But
a fucking goal.
The problem is, isn't it? Like if everyone keeps going in like on the Ocares over the last 4 or 5 weeks, but when you start looking at the facts, Saka no goals in 13 Premier League games. I can't get my head around that. I literally can't get my head around it. This is a kid, yeah, right? That was scoring 10 to 15 goals a season before we come back off his injury. Martinelli, gone off the cliff in the Premier League. Put him in the Champions League. Put him in the Cup. He's a totally different player. Trossard, yeah, he's good for 45 to 60 minutes. But the problem with Trossard, his legs go after about 45 to 60 minutes. He has good spurts, but for me, the left wing position is an issue. But is it actually a major issue, or is it now that we're really identifying that actually we're not allowing these forwards to play football? And you look at, I'm going to go to you, Mark Melvin, on this one, because I'm really interested in what you got to say on this one. You'd have been at you was at the North London Derby. Eze bangs in an hat-trick. That day was incredible, and you're thinking, do you know what? This is what we've been waiting for. A proper number 10 to go and take his chance. He makes one mistake at Aston Villa, and then he gets banished out of the squad for the team for 5-6 games without seeing him. And now he's gone back in, and I watched him yesterday, and I was like, his confidence is absolutely gone. Is absolutely in the gutter. He looked scared on that pitch. He looked like he didn't know what to do. And I just find it really awkward. Like you're talking 2 months ago, this is when he banged that hat-trick against Tottenham, and this is the player that we've got now.
Well, Eze, it's a sad indictment of our coaches, is it, or the mentality? He's a natural footballer, Eze. You pay money to watch him. But you're right, you would definitely say, right, Eze's playing today, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to enjoy this. Has he got too much going on in his brain now from the 93 coaches we've got telling him what to do? No, I mean, if you've got a talent, you don't need to teach a footballer who's that talented what to do. All you say to him is, you're playing today or you're not. A player who's that good, that's all you've got to do. You don't start putting, because the second you do something not spontaneously, is that split second someone's on you. Split second of indecisiveness. No, play your game. We didn't buy a defender when we bought Eze. We bought a free-flowing forward, but we're not using him as that. That's number one. But just go back. Sorry to just go. Do you mind if I go back to what Ryan said about the way we play defensively? I saw the writing on the wall. Well, I've seen it before, but what really hurt me. You know what game hurt me the most this season? Not United yesterday. We got what we deserved, and it was poor. All right, was poor. The game, I thought that, hold on a minute, I don't think we perhaps got it when we should have had it. We were that close. Away to Sunderland, right? This is game management, I think. We were 1-0 down. We weren't going our way. We started off the second half brilliantly. We actually went 2-1 up. They were, I don't know if you agree, Ryan, they were beaten, Sunderland. They never got beat at home. All of a sudden, panic was setting in. They didn't want to go near us. We could have won that game and should have won that game 3 or 4-1. All of a sudden, we went in reverse. We said, come on, attack us. Therefore, they didn't have to worry about us attacking. We had no attack. All our attackers were in the first 30 yards from our goal. So they did get a goal. They nicked the goal. But we were asking for it. And that was bad management. It's either that or all the players collectively think, oh no, let's just go back. And if they did go back, someone should have been telling them, get up there, take this team on, you've got them on the rack. And that really upset me. Wolves as well. Now, it wasn't just that we defended against Wolves, that 10-minute horrible period. It was what we were doing with the ball. We were kicking it out like we were playing at Hackney Marshes. Yeah. There wasn't one ball from our defence out to someone. It drove me mad. And yesterday was one of those things where everything went wrong that could have gone wrong.
That Wolves game, just touching on that in that mad 10 minutes, and when it was 1-0, it was like we were the relegation team.
Yes.
We were fighting for the fucking 3 points that we needed desperately to stay keep our head afloat from the table at the bottom of the table.
It's like somebody, like we were playing football, and someone took a pin and put it in our ball and made it like we couldn't kick it. What happened there? How can the whole team not find each other for 10 minutes? And with our backs against the wall at home to Wolves, who were absolutely useless up to that last 10 minutes of the season, not just of our game. That to me was horrible. And the Sunderland, perhaps you didn't think the same as me. The Sunderland game for me said, hold on, are we actually saying we're not good enough to beat this mob? We are so negative sometimes. We're playing a percentage game. We shouldn't play percentages. We should play the team in front of us and try and beat them 3 goals, 4 goals. So I'll tell you something now. The way it's gone with our defence, we've got to think that we've got to get 2 or 3 goals there to win a game now. I really think we never used to be like that, and that puts more pressure on us. So we've got to have a different mindset. The only good thing that might come out of yesterday's game is that the club might wake up and go, hold on a minute, we're doing something wrong.
No, that's what I'm kind of thinking now, that actually Arteta's kind of sat on it, waiting for the worst to happen to react. Like, for me, and I've put it out here quite a few times now, for me, Subamendi and Rice don't work at home at the Emirates. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see why we need to go with Subamendi and Rice against most teams at the Emirates. Like, if you're playing Man City, then, or your top teams, then potentially so. But I look at this team and I think you're struggling for goals, and you're struggling to create anything, and you've got Subamendi and Rice pretty much like in the same team, and it's not going to work. Like, for me, like I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be playing Subamendi at Sunderland at home. For me, or potentially I wouldn't be playing him at Ellen Road either. Like, I do think that potentially, I think Mikel Merino might need to come back in. I think he's had a good impact over the last month. I'm not saying that he's the option moving forward, because I don't believe he is. But I think we need to change something up in that midfield. And when you start looking at all the games that we've scored 3-4 goals in, it's very glaring in every single game, whether it was Aston Villa at home, whether it was Portsmouth in the Cup, whether it was Chelsea in the Cup, whether it was against who do we play? In Milan. In Milan. Yeah. Every single game, Rice and Subamendi didn't start with each other.
Even Atletico.
Yeah.
Oh, to buy
Rice and Subamendi did not start with each other. And I look at Subamendi and I look at Odegaard, right? And you've got 2 players that pretty much want to do the same thing. And I just think we're stifling our players. And I honestly think that midfield is a massive, massive problem at the moment. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, the only player at the moment I can see coming into that team, right, and potentially dislodging Odegaard is Havertz. And is it that we do play Kai Havertz in that attacking midfield role? Do you know what I mean? And pushing him right up to Gyökeres. Like, I don't want to mark him. Like, this guy is 6 foot odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, get him fit first.
Go on, mate.
Just to say, sorry to put a damper on things, boys, but I heard that Havertz has got a very, very bad injury. I hope it's just all crap I'm hearing.
Oh, not again.
I've heard.
They need to get rid of him in the best case.
Well,
I'm
I'm saying it could be
ridiculous.
don't quote me on this. I'm on.
Yeah.
It's just a football-threatening injury. It's not just a long one. He's got a really, really bad thing with his knee.
That would explain the rumours of the reports from last week, where media were putting out that Arsenal are concerned about his legs, his muscle recovery. Every time he's come back since whatever happened in the summer, it goes.
Shame, but yeah.
It's the same thing recurring. That might that would then explain.
I hope it's all rubbish information. That's all.
We need to react and get someone else in.
Well, that's for me. That's as big as a blow as you're going to get, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, he definitely will compete with Gyökeres for that striker spot, 100%. And I think he does. You could tell, like, even the game he come on against Portsmouth, that actually when he come on, you could see what he does. Do you know what I mean? He really drops deep as well, and he links up the play, and he does it superbly.
Yeah.
But I just think at the moment, like, without him, like, we need to settle on who's going to play out front for the rest of the season, and that player needs to stick in that position. And look, he's Gyökeres. Yeah, he has to play there because, okay, he might not be scoring goals at the moment, but that's not, for me, that's not down to him whatsoever. That's down to the system and the tactics. But we're not losing games with him starting, and actually, we always look weaker in the last 10, 15 minutes once we've taken him off, and that's when you realise, we start dropping deep in games. Like, it all kicked off for me against Wolves, and I watched that. I was at that game, and I watched, obviously, us just drop deep against Wolves from the 85th minute onwards. And you're like, wait a minute, you're the top team, they're the bottom team. And for me, it was a little bit like, are they being arrogant about things here? Do you know what I mean? Like, are they sitting there going, do you know what, we're just soak up your pressure now? Then bang, goal, 1-1. Look, we got out of jail, but that was a calling card for me. Then we go to Everton and grind out a win. Look, let's be honest, they should have had a penalty, if we're being totally honest. Crystal Palace in the cup, yet again the same thing happened. 95th minute equaliser, goes to penalties, which it really didn't need to go to penalties. You then look at Brighton. People don't talk about that game. David Raya pulled off an absolute world-class save to stop that game. They did the same thing again. Brighton scored. Shit. Better sit back. Just low block, and we'll try and kill him hit him on the counter. And then Liverpool, for me, was the most damning performance, and that's when it should have opened up to Arteta. Look, we need to change it now. Like, I don't know what happened at Liverpool at half-time, but something happened in that game at half-time. I'm adamant of it. That team come out the second half, right? Declan Rice's body language was as bad as I've ever seen it. He just didn't want to be there whatsoever. Timber didn't even want to compete with Gakpo in the end. He stopped jumping with him. He literally stopped jumping with him in the end. That was how bad that performance was. But do you know what? It's continued, isn't it? It's continued. And I think the cup games are kind of papering the cracks at the moment. They're papering the cracks. But like people were saying, 270 minutes, one goal, which was a scrappy goal. And this performance was coming. And I think you're right, Melvin. I think it might actually be the best thing to happen. That actually we took that loss yesterday, because if we didn't take that loss yesterday and drew that game 2-2, I think we'd have just done the same thing at Leeds, if I'm being totally honest. I think we'd have done the same thing at Leeds. And it needs a change. It needs a change. He needs, like, we know the defence doesn't need to change. The defence and the goalkeeper pick itself. When they're all fit, it does. But I do not believe at the moment Odegaard's playing well enough to warrant being starting game after game. Do you know what I mean? I just feel that at the moment, he needs to come out of it again. I think he needs to come out of it for a couple of games. Come on in a game, see if he can kind of impact like that. But you look at Eze and you sit there and you think, that's what I'm saying to you. Like, I look at Eze and I thought, do you know what? We needed yesterday? One area. Like, one area to have been that one player yesterday. And it's easy me saying that because he's gone now. But at least you know with one area, at least you know he'll run at players. I've watched him all season. Every time he's come on, I thought he's impacted the game well. He come on 3 times for Odegaard at the start of the season. All three games. We battered Nottingham Forest 3-0. We battered Leeds 5-0. And he come on in the West Ham game as well, and we won that game 2-0. Like, I was looking at it yesterday, and I'm just thinking, do you know what? Especially with Kai Havertz, that's a brave decision. Look, the kid needs to play 90 minutes, game in, game out. I totally agree with you. But is that a big decision now, John? With if the news is right, that Havertz is potentially out.
Well, it's horrendous news if that's true. It really is. Because I said, you'd like to think, because he only left a couple of days ago, and if those rumours come out a few days ago, so surely they know that he's all right, because surely they wouldn't have sent him knowing, hang on, we better wait, give it another week just to be sure. Otherwise, they're going to have to need to go back into the transfer market, possibly. And I still think they should anyway, because it's not been funny. No one else was pulling up trees yesterday. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Leeds will do it. One thing I will say for the game of Saturday is that, bizarrely, I mean, Sky have actually, TNT Sports have actually done us a favour, because I'm amazed this game isn't on the telly. It's not either a lunchtime game or Ellen Road, 8 o'clock under the lights. Ooh, get at Arsenal, everyone's pissed, let's get at them. So 3 o'clock, tucked away, might not be the worst thing for us, because obviously there'll be a lot of attention, but not as much, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully Wednesday, I couldn't care less about the game Wednesday, I'm not going to lie. That sounds terrible, I don't know if I should advertise it, but just play the 15-year-olds. I couldn't care less. Doesn't matter, we've done everything we need to do. It's all about the league. We need to crack back on. We cannot let anyone else get another sniff. Villa and Man City, I believe, are both playing on Sunday.
Yep.
So it's vitally important we win again to get the gap up to 7 points, to put the pressure back on them. I know Man City will win because they're playing that pub team. But, yeah, we just got to get on with it. And well done to Waneri, by the way, for scoring. Brilliant to see him scoring. I mean, that is a strange one. And Dowman as well. He's close to coming back, but I'll be amazed if he threw him in. But who knows? Who knows what Arteta's going to do? He's got all these players, and he doesn't seem to know what to do with them.
This is an interesting one, isn't it? Like I was talking about this earlier on. Funny enough, when have you ever known a captain to be substituted so frequently? The last captain I ever remember being in this kind of mould was a Xhaka under Emery, where a Xhaka used to come off after every 55, 60 minutes, and that's what kind of turned the fans, weren't it, against Xhaka, because he kept subbing him, didn't he? And he kept coming off 55 minutes, and it doesn't sit right with me when your skipper is the first person that's getting substituted off game in, game out.
Again, this season isn't the first one it's been happening. It's been happening on and off for the last few years. It's becoming more and more frequent now, and that's concerning. And I think everyone kicked off, or majority of our fan base kicked off in the summer when Tony Adams did a event thing. I think it was in Ireland or up somewhere in the UK, somewhere in the UK anyway. And he said, Mikel Arteta's got a big call to make this summer. Take the armband off Odegaard, give it to Declan Rice. Declan Rice, for us, Tony's concerned, and Tony is Mr. Arsenal. He is this is a captain who's won 4 titles in 3 different decades, etc., etc. You don't have to go too much into it with Tony Adams. He knows what a captain should be representing Arsenal, going towards winning a title. He said Odegaard represents Mikel Arteta and how he is currently. If you want to win things, you need someone who's there that will get behind the team, on and off the pitch, verbally, physically. And he just doesn't see it with Martin, where Declan, you see it. You saw it at West Ham. Look at West Ham when he was there as the captain, especially that last season. And look at West Ham now without him. They haven't got a leader. He is a leader. He is everything you want in a captain. If he's playing,
the last 3 games he's been nowhere to be seen.
I get that, because he's getting run into the ground. Because like we've said before already in this stream, and I've said this to other people as well off air, we've got Zubimendi and Rice. This is fantastic, but we don't have to play them together every game. In the big games, okay, whatever, we want to do that. But against the lesser teams, home and away, pick one, other one bench, rotate. Use your common sense. Put whoever, say for example, is Rice, put him in the DM. Have Odegaard or Eze or both. You can even play both at this point in time, because obviously if Havertz's been injured, you can even put them 2 and go for it. But it seems they don't want to do that. But if we did that, that would be. And how many times do you see Declan get hooked off? Unless he's in, and even then he wants to play on. We saw it against, was it Atletico or Brentford in the season? I think it was Brentford's on the last time I went to. He wanted to play on, which caused obviously a knock-on effect. But we're not getting that. We're not getting the captain mentality for a team that's in the title. You do not. For a team that wants to win a title, in a title charge, or whatever you want to put it, you do not see any other club in years gone by, be it Man City, the Man City era, in the Fergie era, Mourinho's first stint, his second stint, even Ranieri with Leicester City 10 years ago to today. You didn't, and then Klopp as well, Henderson. You don't see them hocking off their captain as regularly as we do, unless they're literally on their knees and begging to come off of fitness issues. You don't see him getting hooked off. Whereas Odegaard is constantly being. He was the first one. Obviously, it was 4 subs, but he was the first to come off. 10 minutes into the second half, in a game of that magnitude, we've just gone 2-1 down. What does that tell us about not just what we're saying about him as a captain and what his leadership skills are lacking, but the person that gave him the armband, who keeps defending him to the hill as a captain, doesn't even believe he's got the leadership skills to get us out of the mess.
We got a question here from David. Anyone can crack on and answer it. What does our captain give us going forward? And I find it quite interesting. I look at yesterday's game, so a game that Gary Neville was commentating on a few years ago when we beat him, when Declan Rice got the winner. And I always remember in that game, Gary Neville said, whenever you look at Arsenal and they're going to get a winner, you need to keep Martin Odegaard on the pitch. So what's happened with that Martin Odegaard from 2-3 years ago to now? Like, is he being totally stifled? Because against Nottingham Forest away, I was watching him, and I was watching quite closely, and he was the deepest midfielder half the time. And I'm watching Arsenal counter-attacking, and I'm thinking, where the hell's Odegaard? And Odegaard's literally the last man. And I'm thinking, this is a guy, and let's be honest, Odegaard has got the ability to hit the ball. Odegaard has the ability to score from outside the box. Odegaard has the ability to do that. So why is he not doing that?
I think he's become a father. I think the last year, I think it's been a real struggle for him. It's no coincidence in the time he's had the baby till now, and all the injuries he's had. He's just a completely different player. He just looks like a zombie half the time. When I'm sure he's not up, bless him, he might be up doing night feeds all the time. Who knows? But he just looks, I was going to say, he just looks, I don't know, just zoned out half the time. He just looks knackered.
He looks
in his
frail.
face. He does. It's just that stupid little beardy thing. Get rid of that as well. He just doesn't. I mean, I didn't understand the substitution of him yesterday. I don't know if there's something going on with him, but he just panicked a bit, I thought. I understood we needed to make changes, but to take him off straight away, I mean, as much as he's got his faults, I'd rather have him on the ball trying to go forward than Eze at the moment, and that's being rude or disrespectful. But Eze, bless him, he just looked like a fish out of water, and I do worry that this club is becoming too big for him, but that's a different conversation. I don't know, though. There's clearly something going on. You said it with Rice. I don't know if something's happened. There's been a big bust up, but you would have thought it would have come out at some point, which is ridiculous, really, when we're top of the league. But there's something that's not right. No one can seem to put their finger on it. And it always seems to be Odegaard plays the ball, everything goes through him. But if he doesn't do that, no one else seems to. And it's just like, I don't know what they do in training, because they must be running through the lines and Odegaard's looking up, and whether I tell him not to, I don't know, but it's so static yesterday. And I tell you now, Dorgu scoring that goal. We don't score a goal like that. Cunha running through scoring a goal like that. We don't score goals like that anymore. Is that because the other teams set up so defensively against us? And we were so poor defensively yesterday, by the way. That was the poorest I've seen the whole back four play. I mean, Nketiah, he can't have been fit because he was horrendous. But it was really poor. But
Sorry, I was going to say, wasn't it against Chelsea in the first leg at half time when they were coming out? Was it Declan or Gabriel that we saw fighting with Albert?
Declan Rice, that was.
Sorry, I didn't know Melvin was trying to say something, so I was sort of get out of that.
No, if you're still sorry, just go back to Odegaard. For me, he's a great touch player, but it's no good in playing touch football near a penalty area, because he's got a tendency to lose the ball because of his physicality as well. But with him, I can watch a game of Arsenal. I can tell you in 10 minutes whether Odegaard is going to have a stinker or a worldie, because he doesn't change. He's either buzzing, he's everywhere, he's trying things, or for some reason he goes near our goalkeeper because that's the safest place for him to get the ball without getting clattered. He's got more space, obviously. I'm not saying he's frightened of getting clattered, but he knows he's got more space to do things with the ball, and he's got everything in front of him. It's so frustrating. I mean, to look at their captain, who's a horrible piece of work, but didn't he play like a captain, the Man United captain yesterday? At the end of the day, he ran that. Where we had the first half before we made that mistake, but he ran that midfield. Once they got there, once they fancied it, United, he said, "Right, I fancy it," and he did. He was head and shoulders above anyone we had in midfield, because he was turning us one way and then the other, but he had players running off him as well, which we didn't have. So it's very, very frustrating. And I think what it is, I think that when going back to the first point, being negative, being defensive, being slow, it's very hard in a season sometimes, or in a 90-minute game, once you're slow, to go up the third and fourth gear. It's very easy going from third gear to first gear. We can do that. But if you're all of a sudden, you've started well and you go back a bit, to move on again, it's very, very difficult. And we've found that ourselves in that position so many times, that we get into a rut within a game and it finishes up that Saliba and Gabriel are our midfield players. But they don't want to go forward with the ball. Obviously, they're a last line defence. So they pass it to each other. They bring this one in. Oh, it looks lovely for touches. If you want to get a world record for touches in a game, we'd win it. We win the World Cup. But it's about scoring goals. And they slow. Listen, they're great defenders-ish, because the last few weeks they've been so good. But we give every team the opportunity to defend against themselves. We turn it into a practice game for the other team. Because they go, right, 10 behind the ball, move to the right, move to the left, the centre half's got it again, let's reorganise ourselves. We don't go hell for leather. And the desire is not there, in my opinion, sometimes.
On the flip side, you've got to look at like whether there's going to be some positives over the next few weeks. As I said, like, I think.
Let's hope so. I can't be having this show every week.
No, but I do think that I think sometimes you learn more from a big fat L, don't you? And I do you know what? Like, next week's a massive game at Ellen Road, and Leeds is one of the hardest grounds to go to. Like, I just remember over the years, mate, going to Leeds, mate, and then that ground being awful. I even remember the last time we went there, we won 1-0, and they should have had a penalty in the last minute, and it was awful. The game was awful.
Saka scored the black shirt.
Yeah, probably. But this is a tough game, and for me, next Saturday we'll actually show you, whether these players are up for the battle. Because if you go and get a win there, they can totally turn around this season. Because I don't care anyone says, I think it's one of the hardest grounds in the Premier League to go to. And I think if we can get a big win there next week, I think that would transform absolutely everything. Because you've got a win there. You've obviously put to bed that Manchester United game straight away. But then we got a run of fixtures where actually you sit there and you think that for me, we need to get out of February with a 4-point lead. Right, if we get out of February with a 4-point lead, I ain't going to lie to you, I'll be happy. Because when I look at the fixtures in February, I look at Sunderland at home. I think we should beat them, but it's yet again whether we want to wake up.
Every game seems hard now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You look at Brentford, Brentford, a decent team this year. We've got to go there for a night game.
North Forest beat them 2-0 yesterday. That should be no problem at all.
But you say that. You say it should be no problem.
I know.
And it is a problem. North London derby should be beaten. We've beaten 3 years in a row, but it's still a North London derby. And then to top that off, you've got Chelsea at home. So these next 4 or 5 games, actually, I feel will determine our season. I do really believe, our next 5 games in the Premier League is going to determine our season. Because actually, if we come out of there, say we come out of there with a 6 or 7 point lead, I think, do you know what? Happy days. Actually, happy fucking days, mate. Because you look at the fixture list after that. Yeah, you got to go to Man City, but the big games are all out of the way. Like your probably biggest home games, Newcastle at home after that Chelsea game. So this next 5 games for me, he's got to be brave now, Mikel Arteta. It's down to him to make the tough decisions, mate. He has got to be brave, and he's got to do it on Saturday, mate. Because does he want to be remembered as that manager who bottled it? Yet again, look, last year wasn't a bottle for me. We was never in a title race. The year before, we competed with them toe to toe. That weren't a bottle. The first year, I don't even think that was a bottle, if I'm being totally honest. We had Rob Holding playing centre back got in that last stretch. We didn't have to score at the time. But this year, if we don't win this league this year, it will be a bottle. It will be a bottle. I don't care what anyone says about it. Man City are nowhere near the Man City. They can't probably believe, that they're only 4 points off us still. They probably can't believe it. Liverpool are totally gone. They're nowhere near us anyway. Aston Villa, I don't rule them out. I actually don't rule them out whatsoever. Like, we've seen it before with Leicester. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't rule Aston Villa out of it. Like, these things do happen. These things do happen. It's about who peaks best. Do you know what I mean? So I just think if we can, these next 5 games, if we say we took 13 to 15, I'd say we need to get 4 wins and a draw in our next 5 games. I think that's what we need to get, at least 4 wins and a draw. And actually, I think if we got 4 wins and a draw, actually, we could just take this Man United game as actually that's taught you a lesson. Now, it's taught the management team a lesson. It's taught the players a lesson. And they ain't going to like it, mate. Harry Maguire was celebrating with the Manchester United fans 10 minutes after the full-time whistle. They were taking the piss in our ground. Now,
Embarrassing.
you either go away, don't you, and you let that happen, and you think, do you know what, I can't be asked for this, or you sit there and you think, do you know what, we're going to make the wrongs right. And for me, Mikel Arteta's got some brave decisions to do over the next 5 to 7 days. I think on Wednesday he's going to play a mismatch of a team, if I'm being totally honest. But you know what? Actually, give Eze 90 minutes on Wednesday. Give Eze 90 minutes. I'd actually even happy to see Odegaard play some of that game with Eze in attack in the midfield. Just do something different Wednesday. Just go out there, yeah, right, and let the players play Wednesday. Give them freedom Wednesday. Make them feel good about themselves.
Give them a bit of confidence.
Do you know what I mean? Don't let them go and win 2-0 against this team. Go and batter this fucking team on Wednesday. But do something different. Do something different with that midfield. Do you know what I mean? Make something happen. Go on.
I see your point, but shouldn't we have been up for it yesterday after what we did to Inter Milan?
No, you're right.
No, you're totally right. We should be up for it at Nottingham Forest, mate. We should be up for it at Liverpool. We should be up here. But I just feel now, actually, you've took a big loss now against a team that no one likes losing to. If that don't knock sense into you, we're not going to win the league. Do you know what I mean?
No, definitely not. Saka and Odegaard have already come out. I don't know, because obviously, so we haven't got Andy really, because he might give us a bit more insight. But obviously, is it the club saying, right, go on, captain, off you go and say some nice words to the fans? We're really sorry we lost. You know, Saka. I mean, Saka seems like he really does care. But is that them coming out and going, look, I want to speak up, I want to address the media? Or is it just the club going, yeah, go and say, oh, yeah, we'll get it sorted out. We'll be fine for next week. They need to mean it. As Ryan said earlier, he's desperate to win the title. We haven't won the title for 20-odd years. It's just not good enough. I mean, people are bringing up, oh, the fans are so anxious. Yes, because they want to win the league. But we're so close to winning the league. They're sick and tired of coming second. All the jokes, oh, they're going to bottle it again. No. We're sick and tired of it. We want to win the league. Surely the players understand that they taught a good game. And they've done so well. You know, let's not look about. As rubbish as we have been recently, we're still top of the league by 4 points. And the players, come on, keep cracking on.
What we've missed out,
come on.
Our biggest rivals, I know Villa are up there on paper.
Yeah.
Our biggest rivals are City, let's face it. And they've made 2 cracking signings the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And we've done nothing. I'm not saying we should have done.
No, you're right.
We've missed it out.
I'm amazed we didn't try and get one of them.
Now. That could be the turning point. Let you know, us playing poorly, yes, but they can smell blood now, Man City. They're like a shark in the water.
We didn't go for Gay. £20 million for Gay. I'm not. So we don't need him, but
don't we?
£20 million.
Don't we?
So
we can play a number.
Well, no, you're right, mate. You're right. Yeah. I just think it's crazy they're turning their nose down at players.
I think the problem with Gray deal was the wages, isn't it? That at the end of the day, were they going to pay him?
Yeah, you're probably
for 300k, are they going to pay him that when they got 2 centre backs at the starting? And what is it going to ruffle up the rest of the players?
I can't imagine they're signing anybody at all. I mean, there's been no rumours at all, to be fair. But there hasn't been a lot of rumours at all in the whole transfer window, let's be honest.
I'm saying we bought, whether we bought anyone or not, aside from that, they have bought 2 quality players. And it makes a big difference to them. Yep. It's given them a flip like no other.
Yeah, it's given them a boost. Yep, no, you're absolutely correct. Someone did say earlier, it might have been Andy, they made a comment about Mateta, and they take Mateta at Arsenal. I don't know what you guys think. I find them very hit and miss. So you're pretty fit in with that team.
Yeah. I'll take ours is hit miss. I'll take a hit and miss.
Apparently, for it, bizarrely, Nottingham Forest in the front man to sign him, which, given the grief between the 2 teams, is very strange. But yeah, I think it's a very strange one. I'm sure Mateta, when he said he wanted to leave Palace, not being rude to Forest, was hoping for a better side. I mean, Forest are a European side at the moment. I don't know how long that's going to last. I don't know if they're going to go out. But I'm sure he was hoping for something a little bit.
I just don't think it doesn't matter who's up front for us at the moment. We've got our striker. It's not for me. It's not about like. It's about putting the ball on a plate for him. Do you know what I mean? Like the last time I remember a ball being put on a plate for him at the Emirates in a Premier League game was Eze against Nottingham Forest. Come on, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Tell me another chance has been put on his fucking plate. There isn't one.
Ricardo
Well, a few,
against
but
Leeds.
there's been people in the way. Timbers in the way. Chelsea. Timbers
Ricardo
in the way.
against Leeds. Ricardo Calafiori, he's at the first home game of the season.
But yeah, the Forest game.
And then since the Forest game, nothing.
Absolute nothing. Like not. There's nothing that's been absolutely put on a plate. There was a couple against Aston Villa, and I thought, do you know what?
Ben
They
White.
weren't gimmies. Do you know what I mean? But they were decent balls in from Trossard. But it doesn't matter who we play out front. It doesn't really matter who we play out front at the moment. Like, we are totally stifled, and it's just he needs to let the handbrake off now. He just needs to go with it. He just needs to go with it and trust these players and trust these attacking midfielders. And if he does that, I don't believe there's a team that will keep us. And I was speaking to someone today, and it was it doesn't matter where we got to go to Man City. When we go to Man City, we want it. When we go to Man City, we want it to be a game, right? Where actually, if we do lose the game, there's not really much. Like, we lose the 3 points, but actually we're still 7 points clear of you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what we need to be looking at, is going to Man City with the best possible league we can, because actually Man City will have to come out against us, right? And then it will end up being a stupid game of football, which could suit us. But he just needs to let the handbrakes off now. Do you know what I mean? And trust these players. And that's why I just think that on Wednesday, do you know what? Just let them go out and play football Wednesday. Oh, do you know what I mean? Just say to them, look, just go and play your football Wednesday. Just go out there, enjoy yourself, get the midfielders on the ball, and let them play, and just give them a bit of confidence. Go on, Mel.
You said two different things, so I would mix it. I don't want us to play a reserve team and say give it all you got, because we don't learn anything. I would actually have this. If you're going to do it, to say take the handbrake off, let's see how it goes. I would play exactly the same team we played the other day, or our best 11, and say to them, take the handbrake off and see how they do then. And if
I have a question now. If it goes wrong, what happens to the players?
Then you revert back to what he's been doing, Arteta. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't cost us anything, because we're first or second anyway. It's a free hit to try a new system against this mob. Why do it in the league?
You see Declan Rice, mate, when that first season he played for us, in that first 6 months, he was playing in that centre midfield on his own, weren't he, in that defensive midfield? And he was literally doing absolute everything. You telling me if he plays defensive midfield, right, and he will run the show in there, mate, just say you had an Eze or an Odegaard. All right, one area's not here. We don't have others bit. But you know what I mean? He will literally make sure that works, mate. Do you know what I mean? All he's got to do is get Odegaard and Eze on the ball further up the pitch. We don't necessarily need, like, especially on Wednesday night, like, I actually agree with you, Melvin. I actually think, do you know what, if you're going to do it to a point where actually you're going to play the same kind of team and go out there, just let them play football and let them do what they've got to do. Look, we know Saturday's going to be a little bit different, but when we come around to Sunderland, we just need to let them play in our own ground. Do you know what I mean? Like, someone said to me the other day, right? Like, this is the worst style of football we've ever played, and we're going to be champions. We could be champions, and we're playing a brand of football which is absolutely awful to watch at home. And I was sitting there, I was thinking, I actually can't argue with you. And they were like, well, how would you feel about that? And I was like, well, I want to win the league, but I'll be honest, every time I come out of that stadium, I'm fucking angry. I'm pissed off. I was pissed off at Wolves. I was pissed off at Brighton. I was pissed off at Liverpool. I was pissed off at Manchester United. God damn, I was even on a watch long against Chelsea when we beat them 3-2, and I'm still pissed off because I just thought that we should have put that game to bed. Like, we should have won that game 4-5-1, and that League Cup's done. It's over with. But Chelsea have fancied their chances coming to us. I'm telling you.
It was fair to say we had 1 foot in the final. I think we've got a toe in the final now. After we've been playing with Chelsea, they must fancy it.
They will.
Yeah, they will. They're a good form.
Well, our form's gone the other way. I mean, I've been enough replays or second legs when we played at home, where we've done well away from home, and at home we've just lost it completely. I've had too many of those, and I hate to say it, this Chelsea one could be another one. Unless we pull our socks up very, very fast and very high, they could do us, Chelsea. Got no doubt about that at all. We've really got to improve the mindset and everything else. We've really got to improve.
Looking ahead, guys.
The Leeds still winning, Ryan. You've got the Leeds game on. The Leeds still winning, Ryan.
1-0 Leeds, is it?
Yeah, they're in good form. Yeah, Leeds are in
Mate,
good
they're a
form,
good
mate.
team, mate. They're good at home as well. They
Yeah.
are good at home. But yeah, I just think that, do you know what I mean? It'll be a big result Saturday. And I actually think we get there and get that big result. I think it could totally revert the whole season. Do you know what I mean? And we need that going into that Chelsea game, don't we, Melvin? Because, like, at the end of the day, we've gone out of so many League Cup semi-finals. And look, I remember it. You'll definitely remember it. Like, last time we won a League Cup was 1993. Yet again, that's not acceptable for the club this big.
No.
Like,
I remember was it Wigan we got beat at home in the semi-final at home? We've done away. We've done the job away from home. At home, I think we even scored first again, and we bottled it.
They scored right at the end, didn't they? Injury time. Jason Roberts. Or
last
like
season at Highbury, and then yes, I think it was 1-0 or 2-1 Wigan and first leg, and then second leg we just came out.
Dave Whelan comes striding along the pitch.
We had like youngsters like Kerry Gilbert play, but we went Van Persie going played, Henri played. We turned the tie around extra time. Well, it was in our hands. 5 minutes to go. Switched. We had Sol Campbell and all that as well in this game, and we just went. We're good. There you go.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't a good game, was it? It was fucking awful. We went the right, like you said, the Gilbert, weren't it? He set that goal up. I remember that.
Kerry Gilbert.
Yeah. But so obviously Wednesday, in terms of kind of team selection, Ryan, what would you kind of go with? Would you on the understanding you maybe give some of these for first teamers more of an opportunity? Look, players like Mascara and that are going to come in. Like he's going to come in. Ben White will come in. But in terms of the midfield and attack, what's your kind of thought process?
I'd start Declan, bench Zubi, because Zubi's even the SAS side, but you've got to sort of include it because he did make the mistake that led to the bloody between him and Saliba that led to the equaliser. He has made the odd mistake throughout the season. I think it's bench Zubi, start Declan with a mindset of if this works, even though we're all but through, if this works and we play well, this is the midfield I'm going to go with on Saturday. Sorry. So Declan, I'd start in the DM and then have Eze and Odegaard attacking midfielders ahead, just pushing ahead, and let them link up and go forward. I'd rest Saka, put Noni in, because Noni's not doing nothing wrong. I get what people are saying in the chat like today. Noni must be asked a question. What have I got to do? Because he comes on, he most of the time he's doing all right. He's doing something. He's pushing forward. He's asking questions of the defenders. Maybe that's the problem. Again, like we said earlier, Arteta's too fucking micromanaging this team now. I can say it because of past watershed. Noni, the left. We've got no options on the left hand side. This is a problem with Martinelli, maybe just to give him some run out minutes wise. Because Trossard had probably shattered. Striker, I'd go Victor. Just go Victor.
Yeah, Victor.
This is a game. Again, if you're not scoring at least a brace in this game, assuming he takes the handbrakes off and lets the team attack and play to their strengths, Victor should be getting at least a brace in this game. But go for it. Just go for it. As we've been saying all night, experiment.
I've just had a thought. I'm pretty sure Rice and Zubimendi are both suspended.
I don't think so.
Rice is.
Rice is it?
Yeah.
Well, there's the answer to
I know one of them got booked right at the end of the.
That's right. Subi can play. I was going to say I think I'd go Subi personally with Rice.
There's the answer to the question then. Rice got the night off anyway. Put Zubi in, but still go with the other guy in Eze just ahead of him. Let him do the defensive stuff in midfield. Let him be the anchor between the defence and the attack, and let them push forward and try to attack and break down whatever this team puts on our way. Open
what
up.
What about Odegaard's brother, Norgard? Why doesn't he get a game?
No, I forgot about Norgard.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd play him. That's who I'd play on Wednesday.
I think he looks every time he's put the shirt on, Russ. He looks half decent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. And he's been playing centre half.
Yeah. I don't know why he ain't getting more minutes than what he has been, because like you say, he has played well this season when he has played.
I've got no problems with him at all. Sorry.
No.
I do think that we will have to go probably Subi and Rice at Saturday at Leeds. I think we are going to have to go there with it. I think for me, it's more like once we get out of that game, then we kind of obviously let the shackles off a little bit.
But at least, I get what you're saying. But at least use this game as an experiment with something in mind. Then, but do it. Go, let the shackles off. Let them unleash the reins. I know you got Gabriel Haynes as a fucking former defender, but let the reins. Let these players attack. We saw 2 years ago the lesser squad compared to what we've got now. When you let them just go free flowing and attack everyone, no one could stand against us. 9 times with Bayern Villa, and that was more fluke than anything in the end in the running. We've upgraded our squad, so if you let the reins off now, surely no one's going to come near us whatsoever. 1-1.
Can we also, when
Sorry?
1-1.
we sort a player out here?
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, Marvin, go on.
Just one other thing about what frustration for me is: should we have a club rule, that Ben White is never allowed to take a throw in again?
Did you see that?
What's that?
Because he used to remember he's a wind-up merchant with all the players in it, with the other team on the goalkeeper. He pulls the shirt, the left. He does it all that, but now he winds up the supporters. Why is he's waiting to be booked?
Yeah,
he's waiting to be booked, and he's got away with it a couple of times when he could have been booked.
What I didn't get yesterday, though, mate. He had the ball in his hand, right? And you're like, we're losing 2-1, mate. And you're saying to him, pass the ball back, right, where that geezer is. He takes 5-10 seconds, and then he passes the ball that he should have passed 10 seconds before that.
Yeah.
And you're like, mate, come on. I actually thought he was bad when he came on yesterday, personally. I thought he looked. He didn't look good.
Interested, in my opinion. I don't think his head's there. I'm sorry.
No,
I don't think his head's there. He's not the same. He was giving it, or even if he wasn't playing particularly well, which he had some great games as well, but he was like giving it to the opposition. He was winding them up. It was brilliant to see, and it was like putting the oppo on edge. He's not even doing that now.
I think he definitely goes in the summer.
Yeah.
I think he definitely goes. We'll just quickly go to the Saturday game before we wrap up. Obviously, Leeds. It's going to be a tricky game. Obviously, they're 1-0 at the moment. I'm going to go to you first on this, John. Do you how do you go with this Saturday? Because obviously it is a tricky game, but do you kind of make changes to that midfield?
Yeah, I suppose it depends what happens on Wednesday. Yeah, obviously so many people need games. Yeah, I don't know. I presume the 3 midfielders that started yesterday are going to start on Saturday. We're guessing, and then Saka will play, and then we're guessing for the other 2. No one seems to know. Trossard seems to be his go-to, but he has been quite poor the last few weeks, and it's not a criticism of him because he has been very good all season. And we don't know. I mean, I'd like to see Victor play. I mean, Victor, I think he should start. He's such a big presence. But then Jesus is quite good away from home, bizarrely. So, yeah, I honestly don't know.
I think Victor has to start that game. I don't think Jesus.
I'm hoping he starts Wednesday, bangs in a few minutes. Obviously, he scored a good goal against Inter Milan. That was a great finish. And it was just strange he didn't start him yesterday. But obviously, it was tough because obviously Jesus did well. He scored 2 goals. But he just doesn't have that physical impact that Victor has. Victor would have led Martinez all over the pitch yesterday from the get-go. But yeah, I mean, there's a possibility Jesus could go out on the wing and Victor could be up front. Who knows? We just don't know. And the worrying thing, Arteta doesn't seem to know. So, yeah, I presume it could well be the same starting 6 up front. And it didn't really work, so I don't know. I honestly don't know. Leeds will sit back, though, and they'll just wait for us to come out and try and hit us on a counter-attack. So,
See, I don't know if they will sit back, mate. I'm not really sure they
I hope
will.
not.
I think
because that'll play into our hands. If they don't,
hopefully they don't. But I'd rather they didn't. But I think
their fans will demand they do attack. To be fair,
yeah, I think I'm not sure they will. I think they're one of them teams that might have a go. What do you think, Melvin?
I think I've been to Ellen Road so many times, and they do not want to see their team defend at home.
No.
Only if they're 1-0 up against Man United will they let them
That's only
defend the
exceptional.
goal. Yeah, that's the only time. The Leeds crowd just want them to get forward and forward, which will play into our hands if we're good enough.
Fingers crossed.
So it's, as I say, it's going to be a tough one. When Arsene Wenger, when we went on a bad run, there's always games we thought, God, this is a tough one, and he used to win it and get us out of trouble. Hopefully, this is another one to get us out of trouble, because we're in trouble at the moment. We've got 2 points out of 3 games, right?
Yeah.
How many goals we scored? We scored a couple of goals, we're letting too many. So, in my opinion, if this is the time, this is another test, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've had the test to increase our lead. Now we've got a big test to see if we've got the bottle to at least keep the lead we got, if not improve it. Very big test down the road. It's not for the faint-hearted, is it? As a player, if you don't want it on Saturday for the Arsenal against Leeds, don't even bother turning up. Let someone else have the shirt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love that. I totally agree with that. And you, Ryan?
Well, I was looking at, again, going back to yesterday's watch along, I'm looking at it with Gaffin at the fixtures going forward for the next few weeks. And next 2 weeks, I can remember rightly, obviously this weekend and then the following weekend we play Sunderland. Both of them, we kick off with 4 City and Villa respectively, especially City for the next 2 weeks. So we
need to make it
we
count.
need to make them, as I say, make them count, get the 3 points on the board this week and put the pressure back on them, knowing that they're going to their bogey team on Sunday. And I've had a message from a Man City fan saying Tottenham fans are getting older than them, saying, please beat us, please beat us. Like, seriously.
They're
Oh,
pathetic.
don't start with that again. Oh no.
I'm like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they're embarrassing. They're a disgrace.
I said to the person, I'm not surprised. This is a team that 2 years ago celebrated losing, even though it cost them Champions League and fucked their football club. Just saying. But yeah, and then the following week they've got the bogey ground of Anfield. So we've got to make these next 2 weeks count. No, and it's no mercy. None of this handbrake on Malarkey anymore. Like we've been saying all night, let the handbrake off. Believe in your attackers. But if you do that, that could do wonders mentally for this team then going forward. Because we cannot between now and May keep doing this. Last night showed it. That we've been seeing it and saying it over the last few weeks, but last night, because of the result, rammed it home. It should be ramming it home to Mikel now.
I think one of the biggest things for me on Wednesday night, hopefully, we'll see Calafiori fit. I think actually, if we can get him back in the team Saturday,
missed him massively.
Right, that's the kind of species you want going there, isn't it? On Saturday, you want your Calafioris. Look, ideally, you want your Havertz as well, but that don't look like it's going to happen. But I totally agree. We need to go there. We're probably a physical team that want it, that want to have it. You know what I mean? And fight them for it. And it's gonna be a fight Saturday. The crowd are gonna be up for it. They expect, because it's at their home grounds. And for me, if we come out of there with a win Saturday, I'm not going to say we're going to win the Premier League, but what I'm going to say is that actually I'm very confident that it could be the turning point of our season. That's how big I rate this game on Saturday, and that's how tough I rate this game on Saturday. That actually, if you get out of there with 3 points, I think the psychology that's going to have on our players will be massive. It will be massive for obviously Arteta, because it will take a lot of pressure off him, and it will be ideal going into that Chelsea game. Don't come out with a win, then I worry for the rest of the season. I ain't gonna lie, I do worry, because I just look at these players and I think that there's going to be more and more pressure on them. Look, Guardiola's not stupid. There's a reason why he's calling us the best team in the world. He's piling all the pressure on these players. When you start hearing these pundits going, "Oh, they should Lee Hendry should win the triple." He ain't coming out of Arsenal. He ain't coming out of also. Our fans are scared to even mention about winning the Premier League at the moment. But the amount of pressure that it will build on these players will just build more and more if they go and lose at Ellen Road, because then the bottle tag's going to kick off even more. Yeah, go on, mate.
It's not the bottle tag, fair enough. But what is the difference, I think, between this season and other seasons? I'd rather go down fighting. If we play decent football, attacking football, and we get beat, fine, unhandle it. If we did play defensive football, not go for it and get beat, no. Not good enough. Not good enough at all. A season or two ago, Saliba made a bad mistake and gave away a goal. but we were playing attacking football then, on the front foot then. And the crowd, as that ball went in the net, they were cheering like we'd scored a goal. So they knew we had every chance getting back into a game, and we were going to give them a bit of football to watch. Nowadays, if we let in a goal, we're thinking, oh, what's going to happen now? And that's the difference. The mentality of the crowd's changed because our football's different. It's not the same football it was a couple of years ago. When Saka, every time Saka got the ball, we had people running off of him. We looked like we were going to score every time we attacked.
Yeah.
It's not the same now, I'm afraid.
I think old Martinelli's got a couple of goals there, though, isn't he, in the past? So
Yeah.
maybe he got a couple. He got a brace there, didn't he? A few years ago.
Yeah, did that. Yeah.
Won 4-0, didn't we?
4-0,
I think
yeah.
they had, to be fair, I think that day, it was near Christmas, weren't it? They were very depleted.
Yeah, it was over the COVID. The first season back to COVID, and they had the COVID outbreak, and they had 15, 16 years on the bench and all that. Yeah.
So do the last part of the evening, do the old score predictions as we always do. Look at the Champions League game first. I'm going to go 4-0 on Wednesday. John?
I'll go 5-0.
Ryan?
Oh, come on. Yeah, come on.
Well, you want to predict 10-0 before.
It's like Sheffield United. Wasn't aware. Yeah, I'll say 5-0. If it's serious, we would win 5-0.
I'm going to go 4-1. I think they're going to get a goal the other team.
Well, as long as we
yeah, that's a win. Who cares?
Catherine's gone for a 6-0, and obviously on Saturday, I'm gonna go 2. I'm gonna have to be positive. I'm gonna go 2-1 Arsenal.
Boy, I'll go 2-0.
Right.
3-1.
Mill.
I'm going to go 2-0 as well. I fancy it. I think if we're going to come good, we're going to come very good and not letting it go. There we are. 2-0.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And obviously, thank you very much, guys. Obviously for coming on tonight. Thanks for coming on, Melvin, as well at late notice for your first show, mate.
Lovely debut.
I thought I'd enjoy it, and I did. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Definitely. I do feel a little bit better now. I've kind of got it off my chest a little bit more.
It's therapy, isn't it? It's therapy.
It is therapy. Yeah. I tell you what I did. I had an hour's run this evening after work. You know, it's like felt so much better after it. Obviously, thank you very much, guys, in the chat. Really appreciate, obviously, the dialogue we had between, obviously, the guests and the hosts, and obviously you guys. Some incredible questions and content that have been in there tonight. Especially after a big loss that you've still come on is really good to see. So thank you very much, guys. As I said, thank you very much to John, Ryan and Melvin for jumping on tonight, mate. And thank you very much, Ryan, as well.
Welcome, no worries.
And Mr. Brooks, you will be hosting next week.
Let's hope we're smiling faces, eh?
Hopefully, mate. Hopefully. So, but yeah, this fingers crossed, guys. We can get a good comprehensive performance on Wednesday night, and then go to Leeds and get them big 3 points and get the title charge started again. Good night, everyone.